What is the motherfucking deal? Welcome to the den, my friends. If you are not familiar with the den, well, I don't even know if I'm familiar with the den, but welcome to the den, man. The den is where we share uncensored opinions. We're all friends of the den, even though we may not always agree on the same things. We try to have logical conversation and debate, because I think that's what the world is missing. Everybody's so angry, so quick to insult one another. The den is a place where we try to gain understanding of different perspectives. But I hope you guys are all doing wonderful on this magnificent Monday night. I'm learning this English language. It's pretty cool. Once I get it all together, I think I'll be on to something. I'm just trying to simplify a little bit here. And trying to do something a little bit different. And actually, this is supposed to be doing something a little bit different. Give me 1 second. But there we go. I'm going to invade your mind with hypnosis and all that other good stuff. But again, I hope you guys are doing wonderful this magnificent Monday evening. And we're going to talk about Kanye West and some things that have been going on with him. You know, recently he had a meeting with Donald Trump. We're going to talk about some of the reactions to the meeting that he had with Donald Trump and people and their opinions on that. And I'm going to kind of share some of my thoughts on Kanye and, you know, some of my thoughts on the people who have had some things and opinions on what they say about Kanye. And I think it's a very interesting conversation to have at this point in time. But before we discuss that, we got to talk about something a little bit more important, and that is the friends in the den. We're going to see who is joining us this evening. We'll have a little bit of conversation, and then we will open up the den line so that we can talk about some things, again, because ultimately the den is all about your thoughts, all about your opinions, all about the way that you feel about the world around you. And so again, we're going to make sure everything here is copacetic. All right, I think that'll work. We're going to just have some conversation, you know. You know, this conversation, this background looks like we should be talking about Pink Floyd or something. But let's make this happen. Let's make this happen. So we have, let me actually put the right chat on. All right. We have Jason S. I gave you power. Rising Phoenix. Edmund. Phoenix choking on a piece of Zaxby's. Voodoo Child. Say the man is officially nuts. Good to see you, Voodoo Child. Baker Man, what's the deal? Always good to see you. Heidi, what's the motherfucking deal? Yeah, man, Paul Allen. We definitely should briefly discuss that. You know, and you said the den has always been about thoughts. Yes, absolutely. Yes, I'm going to convince you all to become followers of the newest religion, Honchoism. Wise, what's the motherfucking deal? Why you gotta use his P? That's just fucking funny. But no, seriously, we're gonna discuss some things. But I'm glad you all are joining me this evening. Now, y'all know me. I'm not necessarily of the most traditional belief systems. You know, I can take a little bit of this, I can take a little bit of that. And some of y'all who don't know me, well, I'm inviting you to do so. I never really just align in particular with one set of thoughts. People feel like, well, thoughts. Yes, it's always been about thoughts, but thoughts. You know, I kind of see both sides of everything. I try to not be too biased about anything that I do. But sometimes I can't help it. Sometimes I can help it, but I don't want to. But let's talk about Kanye. Let's talk about the people talking about Kanye. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. No, we're not going to talk about sex. We'll save that for another day. But here's the deal. Kanye West recently had a conversation with Donald Trump. Some people say he's not my president. Some people say President Trump. Again, y'all know how I feel about all politicians. They're all fucking trash. But it's the system we currently live under. So, que sera, sera. But there's been a lot of backlash from this meeting. A lot of people who once may have been firmly aligned with Kanye West have jumped ship, say the ship is the Yeezus ship is sinking. I don't want nothing to do with that man. He's firmly, pretty sure he's out of control. People who normally would probably be like, fuck Kanye. I mean, there's like this transition from the Bush period to now. People who were fucking with Kanye when he said Bush doesn't like black people are no longer fucking with Kanye. People who aren't fucking with Kanye, who weren't fucking with Kanye when he said that, are now fucking with Kanye. It's a crazy world in which we live, how these things have manifested. Tell you it's a homosexual. But here's my deal. Now, if you really listen to what he said, or what he was having a conversation about, there were some very odd things in which he said it. Now, the way he delivered his message could throw a lot of people off. But what he was saying was not wrong. What he was saying had a point. Now, the way in which he was trying to push the message, a little bit throwing off all the huggery and Superman hats and shit like that. I could do without that fucking shit. You know, I'm not with the whole let's get our noses brown just to, you know, get out. And that's my main issue. What he said, the message he was delivering was not wrong. What he was trying to accomplish was not wrong. Now, the execution, and as Texans fans, most of us, we definitely know about execution. The execution may not have been smooth at all. Okay? Now, he was out there trying to get manufacturing, get businesses to come in and provide jobs in Chicago, his hometown, where Chicago at this point in America's history is notorious for the gangs and the shooting and stuff that's going on like that. Chicago used to be a mob town back in the day. Maybe it still is. Who knows? Chicago was the site of the original World's Fair, if I'm not mistaken. Lots of people came and left their homes to go, you know, be a part of this thing. You know, that's a long time ago. We're talking about Chicago right now, though. Kanye's trying to get jobs and opportunities brought to black people in Chicago. That's his goal. And some people say, well, Kanye sold stuff. I told you I'm learning this English. Some people say, well, Kanye sold out when he fucked with the Kardashians. And you're entitled to your opinion. I've had discussions about my thoughts and how I've vacillated back and forth, and my opinions change as I grow and I make progress in my life daily. You know, one thing I may have believed yesterday, I don't believe today. It might be vice versa. But my thing is this. I'm not mad at Kanye for going and talking to Trump. Don't care about that. That's what a lot of people are mad about. They're not even, I mean, the fact that he acted real strange, did some other stuff in the Superman hat, whatever, cool. I can understand being mad about that. But most people are just mad because he went and talked to Trump. And this is my problem that I have with the black community. This is my problem I have with rappers and shit like this. Because mostly, you have guys like T.I., Snoop, and T.I., Snoop, and what's the other guy? P. Diddy. I want a background. Let me see if I can adjust this background for you haters. You guys don't want to succumb to my hypnotic ritual to become a part of my religion. Y'all some assholes. I thought y'all were friends of the den. Real friends would join my religion. I'm just joking with y'all. They'll be like, fucking Honcho's a goddamn cult leader. But no, seriously. We're here. We'll go to the Star Trek shit. Since everybody feels like Kanye's out of space. But so Kanye was dropping some real shit though. You know, some things that he said I did like, some things that he did I didn't care for. Okay. So my thing is, I don't hate Donald Trump. Am I MAGA? Absolutely fucking not. But the reason why I lean a little bit more conservative, the reason why I lean right on a lot of issues, but I feel like I'm more independent minded because there's some liberal things that I can agree with. This is mainly the identity politics as far as the liberal stuff that I don't really care for. Kanye's trying to get stuff done. The rappers would rather sit here and talk shit, and they're not getting anything done. You got Snoop, stupid ass. Snoop's old and dumb as fuck. Like, prior to me seeing the little thing, shout out to Wise, he sent me a little video where people, oh, he roasted Kanye. He didn't roast shit. Stupid old ass fucking Snoop, fucking don't know if he want to make reggae music, don't know if he want to make gospel music or be a rapper. This motherfucker done dropped 150 different genres of albums in the last 3 or 4 years, so you don't know what the fuck to do with yourself. You're probably going old and senile. Look, I'm all for the reefer, but Snoop might need to take a hiatus like I'm taking a hiatus, because he's losing his mind. So he talking about the Kiki song, so because he fucking your bitch, and you sound like a simp ass nigga with that shit you talking about. People thinking it's funny, but whatever. The shit was lame to me. What is Snoop doing for the community? What is Snoop doing for anybody but encouraging people to smoke more weed? I'm not opposed to that. Smoke the reefer, hit the blunt. I'm not. Hey, do the blunts. Okay, you know how we do in the den. We do the blunts in the den. Go do me a blunt, in a month. But Snoop old ass ain't talking about shit that's benefiting, helping, assisting anybody. He's in there trying to do karate kicks because he see Wiz Khalifa getting fucking swole. You know what I'm saying? Let's say Snoop was cooning for the police when they was about to tear LA up again. Okay. See, I didn't even pay, I don't pay attention to Snoop. Snoop ass was a Jamaican the other day. Snoop went from braids. He be putting weave in his shit. Snoop ass started behind me. That motherfucker passed my shit. He just got some super hair growing ass shit. That motherfucker the weed he smoked helped his hair grow. That's some nice ass weave he got from the LA Zoo. T.I. got a problem with T.I. Thing about T.I. is, man, you've been telling niggas to shoot, kill, rob, steal, fucking sell dope for years. And this is coming from a motherfucker who used to be a T.I. fan. Like, T.I. the rapper, I liked. But T.I. this fucking fake activist shit, man, get the fuck on, dog. Like, stay in your lane. Do you notice when motherfuckers get old and played out, they start trying to do other shit? What happens to all old pimps? What do? They become fucking preachers. You notice that? You ever notice that? What happens to these old rappers? They ain't got shit relevant anymore. They're not, the kids don't relate to them. Nobody's relating to them anymore. Now, now I gotta correct the world. I gotta find me another avenue where I'm still getting attention from people. I'm still getting some type of glory or glorification from people. What is T.I. doing for people? Yeah, he has the little homes. Cool. Well, he gives away toys and shit. Yeah, we see that. Awesome. But what the fuck is a toy gonna do for a family and their financial well-being? It's a nice gesture, like a fucking court gesture. I'm learning English. I fucking should have got me some more water. Fucking mouth is dry and shit. A nice gesture. But what is it really doing to help anybody? As opposed to what Kanye is doing in making an attempt. He saw, hey, my little wife went over there. She talked to the president. She changed 2 people's lives. People who would have been locked up for the rest of their fucking life are free now. So regardless of how you feel about Kim Kardashian, through 6 degrees of separation, Ray J's dick freed 2 people from prison. So thank Ray J, whatever. But she used her power to go and talk with the man. Everybody, don't go talk to him. Don't go do. Like, what is the fuck is that helping? Like, here's my deal. I can relate with with what he said about Hillary, the I'm with her thing. Hey, it didn't resonate. It wasn't a message that resonated to him. It's not a message that resonated with me, because I don't think Hillary gives a fuck. Hillary this is not going to get into that, but like, for Hillary to be acting like she was so concerned with women's issues and all that, she was the main one that orchestrated all the hits, basically, not murders, but the hits on all those women who accused Bill of this, that, and the third. She set up the situations in which to have these women, defamed, discredited, hushed, and everything else. I mean, there's lots of stories behind that. Like, she ran up on motherfuckers on her own and fucking, made these issues. So Hillary's a gangster in that sense, but to just act like she cares about all these people and all this other stuff, so I mean, that wasn't it. So I can relate to him on that. But getting back to T.I., like, where do you feel like you have the right to criticize this man, call him super coon, call him all this other stuff, when your behavior is more detrimental to black people than anything Kanye's done. If anything, Kanye's tried to open people's eyes into new things. Hey, you don't always have to be on this gangster. When Kanye came into the game at first, he was telling motherfuckers about college. You know, he was a college dropout. He was providing a different style of hip hop, doing things differently, providing a different sound, a different look. You know, trying to make motherfuckers more cultured, things of that nature. But what does T.I. always rap about? T.I. damn near 40, still rapping about the trap. Like, come on, my dude. You got caught up with a whole bunch of shit, did a whole bunch of suspect shit, all them guns and all this shit with all these felonies already on your record, did a year or so in jail. That sounds interesting. Very interesting to me, you know. So, Hammer became Preacher Hammer. You know, making money with black communities, living like just like the white men they talk about so bad. But that's what I'm saying. My thing is, yeah, you know, they'll sit here and talk about, you know, oh, don't do this and don't do that. You cooning and doing this. But what do you think they doing behind closed doors in them office buildings, trying to, you know, keep them record deals, trying to stay relevant and all that other stuff, you know? My thing about Kanye is this. He knew that it was going to disassociate him from a lot of people. But he spoke his mind, whether you agree with him or not. And I respect the motherfuckers speaking how they feel. But let's kind of get into a couple of things he said, and then we'll open up the den line here in a few. And, you know, you guys can call in, share your thoughts on the situation. But a couple of notable things that he said. He mentioned when he had that conversation, you know, it was more about habilitation, I guess you could say, instead of rehabilitation, because they never had it in the first place. So he was talking about providing jobs, providing opportunities for housing and all these things, because it's a trickle-down effect as to why people are having these problems in these communities. And I can understand that. He talked about when you went and got rid of the, you know, mental illness centers and things of that nature, and so you kind of took mental illness and kind of pushed it out the way and just made everything criminal. Because again, in the black community, there's a lot of mental illness has like this stigma, like you ain't supposed to talk about it, like it's not a thing. Darn it, y'all didn't get to hear that. I guess I should have had the audio on. My fault. I'll bring that back. But so like I said, I have no problem with what he was saying about that. I'm gonna bring that back because that's my jam. I want to share that with y'all. But again, you know, so I don't mind that. Mental illness is a thing in the black community that people look at. Oh, you know, it's almost accepted. Oh, he's just crazy. You know, don't mind him. No, mind these motherfuckers. This is something that needs to be determined. This is something that needs to be treated seriously, because it's everywhere. You go in any poor neighborhood or anything like that, and motherfuckers are cuckoo and people just accept it. You know, oh, well, they just on drugs. People turn to drugs to resolve these things or whatever it may be. And they accept the problem as normal when it's absolutely not normal. Did I go the right thing? Okay. So, no, my fault. I don't know if it came back. Well, let me redo it. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
It's not unusual
Miss
to
Gentles.
be loved by anyone.
I don't know if I'm saying it right again. I remember you told me it was Mary Gentles, I believe. So thank you for subscribing. I had to share my little sign with y'all. Welcome to the den. You're now officially a friend of the den. Then he says, you know, he talked about in the community, when you don't have shit, when you don't have land, you accept a brand. And I thought that was some real shit that he said, because niggas don't got shit. Black people ain't got shit, but they'll swear they'll kill you over some Gucci and some Jordans and some dumb shit like that. You know what I mean? Over just some crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like open minds, methamphetamine struggle with a definite what it means to be black and part of the tribe. Mother says there's no tribe, individualism. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Some people are they're in the tribe. They're with the tribe. They're trying to be a part of something that's not real, in my opinion. Like, I think that the culture has, whatever you want to call the culture, I think it's just accepting an impoverished mind state is what people call the culture nowadays. And I'm not with that shit. But again, what he said, when you don't have land, you'll take a brand. That's why you see motherfuckers killing over Jordan. You see motherfuckers robbing over petty shit. You see people out here fighting over dumb stuff. Because when you don't really own stuff, people who have, you ever seen a farmer? He loves his land. He don't care about all that other bullshit. You see these country motherfuckers who got land, got farms. They may live in the back boonies of the greater Houston area. They may live in East Texas, West, wherever it may be. They're not as concerned with the bullshit because they are happy to have their land. And you see what you would call rednecks and all this. They happy to go get them a little four-wheel and go riding, enjoying the land and stuff like that. You know, black people mostly live in these urban areas, impoverished areas, or the ones that do. I'm not saying all of them. Mostly there are well-to-do ones. That's the stigma that we apply to it. But the ones that do, that don't have land, don't have any ownership, any sense of ownership, they feel like they're owning something that has a nice label on it. So I thought that was dope shit that he was talking about. You know, I thought that was real dope shit that he was talking about. Kenneth, I really wish one day you would try. I'll beat the brakes off you worse than that tight end ever could have. It'll be the worst day of your life, I promise you that. But I like you, Kenneth. You're just a simp. Now, something he said that I kind of found interesting that I have to ponder on a little bit, and that was, if the prez don't look good, if he don't look good, we don't look good. Essentially is what he said. But he's basically talking about the president. I had to think about this one for a second. You know, and I look at this country, and again, I've never been really a super political person. I just honestly, for most of my life, just didn't give a shit. But I think when you're talking about as far as other world powers, other countries, you know, looking at what America has going on, and he was just talking about more so technology. He wasn't talking about putting Donald Trump in a Gucci suit and putting some fresh J's on him, you know, having Jay walking and all that. That would be hilarious to see, though. Donald Trump and some 13s. But basically just talking about, you know, more technologies, more things like that. And I think that, you know, they say image is nothing, thirst is everything, obey your thirst. You know, don't be thirsty. But image is a thing to a lot of people. And I think that he had a good point in that sense that, you know, the president is supposed to be the leader of the free world. He's supposed to be the head honcho, but not the head honcho of America. So he should have the latest technology. He should have the most up-to-date stuff. But I don't think Donald Trump is all that handy with the technologies, if you ask me. Because for all the tweeting that he does, has anybody seen him with a smartphone ever? I'm trying to think about it. I just don't recall ever really seeing it. Maybe I'm not looking. But now here's the thing that he mentioned that yeah, I saw that shit with the tissue at the bottom of his foot. That shit was hilarious. That shit was hilarious when he was walking up the flight. I died laughing at that shit. It's like ain't nobody gonna tell the president he got some shit paper on his foot, but I guess not. The thing that he said though that all the black people hate, and this is what black people hate as a whole, because I say this stuff, you tell other people this stuff, and then this is where excuses start coming out the fucking woodworks. You know, just any and every excuse you can fucking hear. You know, and at one point in time in my life, I might have made these same excuses. But like I say, as things turn, I start realizing shit, having certain experience, I realize things aren't as they like to tell you they are. Basically, when he said that we have to start taking responsibility as black people, I think that's the thing that enraged people the most. Good night, Mr. Voodoo Child. I appreciate it. Already. The Packers ended up winning. I didn't even catch it. I didn't see who won. They did. Okay. And he says that, you know, that we have to start. Yeah, all these burner accounts and things. Yes, kill the Tigers. Down with the Tigers. Accepting responsibility. And the reason why I'm big on this is because when you accept responsibility, you accept power. You know, you always hear this message, oh, black power, black power, black power. We've talked about it here in the den. But most motherfuckers can't talk black power without saying, well, white people this, white people that, white people this, white people that. Well, then you're not talking about black power. You're talking about white power, because you're saying that white people are oppressing you. You're saying that white people are holding. I don't believe in any of these things. I don't believe in white supremacy. I don't believe in none of this stuff, because when you put these type of ideals in your mind, then you automatically limit yourself. You automatically make yourself a second-class citizen or whatever it is. I don't believe in any of these things, and so I'm not going to support the belief of these things. But that's my deal. When you start accepting responsibility, when you accept blame, you accept power. Now, am I going to sit here and say that racial situations never occurred? There aren't things that we still have to get over. We see instances from day to day. What was it? Corner store Kathy, apartment Patty, she just got fired. We see little instances day to day. Yeah, absolutely. But these aren't the same instances that our ancestors, our predecessors or whatever dealt with when it was, real racism. You can't go here. You can't walk on this side of the street. You go through the back door if you want to eat. You eat in the kitchen, just random ass, well, not even just random ass laws, Jim Crow, shit like that. Is everything perfect? Absolutely not. But you show me a better country, a better situation, and I'll be willing to sit down and listen to you and have a real discussion about it. But I don't think, honestly, with the opportunity that you have here, there is none. Another thing he said was, he talked about, when he said that Bush doesn't like black people, that he was of a victim mind state. And I think we have a lot of that action. I think that's the conversation when you have that conversation, again, when we talk about the black power and all that other stuff, it comes from you start talking about, well, white people, they're holding us this. Okay, so now you're not talking about black power, you're talking about white power, and you're talking about blacks being victims, because you're not talking about victims. Being a victim is not power. And so he was talking about how he came from a victim mind state. And I can understand that. I saw that. I was at that point in one point in time until I started to realize new things. He talked about racism being an invisible wall, which you can agree with. You talk about blacks needing more industry, and I think America needs more industry as a whole, but blacks definitely need to have, this is what I talk about, culture and things of that nature. But ultimately, and again, I know everybody's not black in here, but I am, so we're going to have this conversation. God damn it, I got the keys to the den. But what I'm saying all these things because Kanye pointed all this stuff out to the guy. Everybody says he's just so racist. He doesn't listen. I'm still trying to figure out what has Trump done to black people that I'm waiting to find out. Can somebody tell me what is it that Trump deliberately did to black people that just made him so bad that you just can't even talk to him? He's horrible. When he's talking about black needing industry, especially in these communities and these neighborhoods, so that they have opportunities to get out of these neighborhoods. He talked about altering education, the way that kids are educated. People hate school now because it's boring. I mean, the school system's been the same for forever since it's been implemented, but yet we have new technologies, we have new information, we have new understandings of how to learn how to implement this shit. In other countries, they go to school 2 or 3 hours. Kids play most of the day, and they do way better on their testing. They do way better as far as world knowledge. They have a complete understanding of the things that we struggle with. We give kids a standardized fucking test and tell them figure it out, and we can't even teach the fucking test because the motherfuckers can't pass the shit. And then once you get into the real world, hey, none of this fucking shit applies. So that fucking TOS test, tax test, STAR test, whatever the fuck it is now that I've been studying all my life for, it didn't do anything, and the fucking standards for the test have just steadily declined. And I'm not learning anything. But we have in that time, the fucking technologies have changed rapidly because we're not keeping pace with that. So I agree with him talking about changing and mixing up the education. He went in there and he fought, put the message to mind, the idea of Larry Hoover in front of Trump. Trump ain't know who the fuck it was. He pondered on it a little bit. An old man like me is probably what he thought. Larry Hoover, 68, he's old. What's that old man doing in jail? Again, Trump never heard him. What has any of these rappers done to put a message out there for Larry Hoover? Nobody said that when Obama was in fucking office. Obama had a fucking concert basically. Obama had 15 fucking rappers in the fucking White House office. Snoop's biggest deal was he smoked weed in the White House bathroom or something. That's what Snoop got you out of the White House. But we gonna listen to Snoop and he knows what the fuck is. Fuck Snoop, dog. I was actually saying fuck Snoop, dog, but fuck Snoop Dogg, that'll work too. He talked about time being a myth. Okay, and I think that. Again, he sounds cuckoo, but this is because this isn't normal speaking to most people. And because I have some weird, strange, metaphysical, esoteric beliefs, I guess you could say. And I think this is kind of where he was speaking from that angle. But he was talking about time being a myth. And it's true, time is a myth. what we use as far as seconds, minutes, hours, days, months, years, decades, centuries, these are just instruments to measure time. But all you really have is what you do right here in this moment as we exist right now. You can't go back and alter any of the stuff. You can prepare to try to figure out your future, but even when you prepare for your future, things always take a turn that you have no idea what's going to happen. And the only thing is you can try to be your best to be prepared for those things. But you don't control the time. And so you have to live in this moment and do your best in this moment and prepare for, future experiences by the knowledge that you've acquired. So I agree with him on what he was saying there. Now, this is where things started to get a little bit weird, okay? This is where stuff starts to get a little bit weird. What's up, Cool and Ver? You know what I'm saying? But this is what people, and I want to talk about that too, Bo City. That's definitely what I want to talk about also. We're going to get to that point. That's ultimately the point we're going to get to. Now, when he said he would like to see Trump and Colin Kaepernick at a Super Bowl, both wearing a Make America Great hat, because that's where he was talking about time, was the Make America. He was like, I don't know about again. And he's like, that's the problem he feels like, black people have, is the Make America Great Again. When was it great for us? And so he's talking about Make America Great hats, alternate. I can see Kanye in his own perspective. He's a little throwed off. Maybe he's not in touch with the world. He's on a different level. But his intentions is he wants to try to bring everything together. He wants to try to solve these problems. And I understand where he's coming from. Will it happen? Probably not. And not because of the men involved, and not because of Trump himself, not because of Kaepernick himself, but it's all the people around him that really have nothing to do with the situation, that are feeding their input into it and stirring it all up and turning it this way and turning it that way. But ultimately what Kanye's saying, he wants to see America come to an understanding, a unification, and become a great country for everybody that's here. Now, will that happen? Good luck, he talked about stop and frisk. He talked about trying to get some of those things changed. So stop and frisk is primarily targeted niggas. That's, if you black, you're gonna get frisked, because they were talking about it's almost like a 7 times higher. And remember they used to do it in New York, and they were asking white people about it. People were like, what is that? What does that even mean? And they was asking black folks about it. Man, I get stopped like every day. Man, I get stopped every other day. Like that. So it's two different sets of rules applied there. Now that's my thing on Kanye. This is kind of a rundown of what he said. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Nike already, look, you're gonna fuck up our profits if you fuck with that Trump. Nike got Colin on the leash. Make your money while you can. Just be great while you. Kaepernick has the softest, most suspect ass. Well, I'm telling you, like when I seen that commercial, like I heard the talking, I wonder who they got to speak for this commercial. And then at the end, when you see it's like Kaepernick, yeah, man, just be great and change the world, and you'll be awesome. I'm like, this soft ass motherfucker, who the fuck is this? That motherfucker is super soft, fucking crazy sounding. Yeah, fuck that stop and frisk shit. That shit's for the birds. Well, shit, the weed legal out there, so all Gucci. But now that's Kanye, and my thing is, I'm not gonna knock anybody for feeling like they have an opportunity to get something done. Again, he saw what most people would think is unthinkable. If you would have said, hey, Kim Kardashian is going to holler at President Trump, in the first place, we'd probably start laughing. Like, Trump and Kardashian? Yeah, right. What the fuck is that going to do? And then you would have said, hey, Kim Kardashian got 2 people freed from basically having life in prison. And, they're free people now, and they can enjoy life. Because I can tell you one thing. I bet those 2 people who got freed, they probably hated Trump when he got in there. I bet they love him now. I bet they probably talk shit about Kim Kardashian prior to, but I bet they love her now. If you'd have told me that Kim Kardashian would change people's lives in that manner, we'd all probably laughed at that in 2016. But the world we live in is crazy. It's a reality now. Now, as the man seeing his wife go out and make these changes, he figures, shit, well, why don't I have the same opportunity? Why can't I go do this? And what harm is it in speaking to a man, especially the president, about getting shit done? Because again, Obama knew all these motherfuckers. Everybody can't be Lil Wayne, and everybody can't shoot a jump shot like Kobe, but we can encourage them to do some other shit, but I don't really give a fuck about them little motherfuckers. I may look like them, but I don't give a shit about them. What did he do for niggas? Like, he was half black. What did fucking Obama do? Everybody put all this stock in Obama. That's why I say you don't listen to the masses. The masses don't know what the fuck they talking about. Obama did nothing for black people. He did more shit for gay people than he did for black people. Not once did Obama say, well, other than he took the Trayvon Martin situation as an opportunity to do a little stand. Well, he would look like my son would have looked if I had a son, if that crazy bitch Michelle would have laid the right eggs and I could have fertilized her properly. I could have had a little Obama Nugget Jr. But I got these 2 daughters and this funky ass dog, So my thing is, it is what it is, I really don't give a shit. I don't care about dislikes. Y'all know I don't give a shit about no fucking dislikes. I don't care if the shit got more dislikes or I don't give a damn about that shit. So, exactly. I'm finna open up the deadline. I'm finna open up the deadline right now. So, my thing is this, dog. My thing is, the thing got the pussy power. There's 2 people they free, or Jared and Bill Cosby. Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. You say, yeah, you see the Trump, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like you check it out and formulate your own opinion. Because like I say, some of the things he was talking about, you just have to be of a different mindset, period, that most black people don't subscribe to. And then some of the shit he was talking about was, like, I have no problem with what he was talking about, the majority of it. My issues was, when he put the cap on, it was like, this made me feel like Superman. What the fuck? Nigga, hat made you feel like Superman. And then my thing's just hugging all on him. And I love this man. And just, I understand President Trump is easily greased up by his ego. He's easily greased up by, certain beliefs and shit like that. But I think there's a limit. And I think that's my issue with what he did. But as far as the shit he was talking about, that shit made sense because, again, he's trying to make change. He's trying to do whatever. You take those opportunities. How often do you get that opportunity? If I was Kanye, I'd be like, man, fuck it. Why the fuck I'm supposed to? I don't love Obama. That nigga called me a jackass. Fuck Obama. Like, y'all got to think about this shit. And so this man gave me an opportunity to come speak to him and have lunch with him. Obama over here calling me names and shit. So who the fuck y'all think I'm going to fuck with? But my deal is, you gotta seize the opportunity while you can. I mean, you're not a lot of people get an opportunity to sit down with a president and express their thoughts. That's why I say, to me, Jay-Z is dumb for, I believe he was the one they said that influenced Meek Mill not to talk to the president. Meek Mill got fucked over by a judge, and he could have done something that possibly could have helped, reform certain aspects of the justice system, because he was a celebrity that was railroaded for his celebrity, because they try to take advantage of him. He could have easily sat down. Because my thing is this: who else is going to have this conversation with Donald Trump? He's surrounded by yes men, people who've never been in these situations, and even Kim Kardashian and Kanye ain't never been in these situations. Meek Mill could have had an opportunity to basically sit down and say, hey, look, man, this is what it is. This is what it's like. This is what the experiences are like in there. You know what I mean? And actually put thoughts in this man's head. Because, again, he's easily influenced. And it could have possibly led to some changes. If Kim Kardashian could talk to him and get people freed, a man who's had these experiences can give you detailed aspects of how it goes down, how this whole situation is, and he was invited, could have taken advantage of that. The NFL players, he said, hey, you know what, I'm more than open. And again, I'm not saying all this shit just makes him a great president. I'm saying you take advantage of your opportunities, and this is what people got to get out of this. He offered basically an open letter to the NFL players. Hey, well, if it's anybody specifically that's getting harassed, that's locked up, that's in a situation because of, the way that the laws are treating them, the way that these police are treating them, send me a list and I'll look into each and every one of them. Did anybody take action on it? Nobody sent a motherfucking thing. So, I understand having your pride, not liking somebody, but if you have an opportunity, Obama didn't offer you that opportunity. Ain't nobody else going to offer you that fucking opportunity. Hillary sure as fuck wouldn't finna fucking do it. I don't know why motherfuckers think that, but nah, because we don't like his weird hair, we ain't gonna do it. And so that's my thing, is just like, I don't get it, man. Like, I don't get it. And that's what I'm like, and I'm just like, you're letting your hate and your anger and false information, you know, skew the thinking that is legitimate. Like I say, fuck all politicians. So like, I don't have a dog in this fight as far as go Obama, go Trump, or go Hillary, or go any, like, fuck all of them. Honestly, straight up and down, fuck them all with a dog dick. I don't give a shit about not the last one of them. You know, because I tell you, like, to be a politician, you got to be on some scummy shit from the local levels to the all the way to the fucking top. You know, it's you've done some shady shit to get there. And but my thing is this: if you're presented an opportunity to possibly have some change, to possibly change some shit, you go for it, as opposed to, on holidays, I'm gonna buy a bunch of toys and these kids gonna still be in poverty, you know, once these toys break, once all this other shit, you know, fall off and everything. I don't have a fucking favorite president. Fuck all the presidents, man. Like, I don't give a fuck about none of them. Like, honestly, like, because I don't look to any of these motherfuckers to gauge myself as my worth. I don't expect not a one of these motherfuckers to do shit for my life. I don't expect any of these motherfuckers to benefit me. But if one of these motherfuckers said, hey, Honcho, come to the office, come to the Oval Office, let's talk about some shit that's affecting your life, and, you know, I want to know your opinions and your thoughts on it. Would I take that opportunity? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm gonna go fucking do it immediately. You know what I mean? You see, but exactly, y'all were able to take action to it. All the puppet, who's the puppet master? Shit, I don't know. I know George Soros trying to work the wood wheel. But yeah, Hillary, niggas want to talk about, like this is what I say, like Jay-Z and Beyonce. Niggas is so stupid. They gonna listen to Jay and Beyonce, well, you know, let's vote for Hillary. Jay-Z old and irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? Trying to go, what is he trying to do? Grow dreads now? What is Jay-Z doing? Like, he over there looking foolish. But Hillary was the one, again, yeah, super predators. Hillary was the one that put that whole policy out. Hillary is 3 strikes. Hillary is the one that's your uncle still locked up for life for some old petty shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he just couldn't quite get right. You know? Hillary the reason why the motherfuckers with the mental illness is locked away in prison. Hillary's the reason why these situations are the way they are. You know, you can talk about big guys, you can talk about who's gonna pick up the phone at this time, who's gonna do all that other fucking bullshit. Hillary is the one who is the most cold-blooded out of all these motherfuckers. Hillary's a career politician. She's scandalous, she's cutthroat, don't give a fuck about nobody, felt entitled to the position. She's still talking about that she got robbed and how she was supposed to have it, and basically she felt like it was hers. Hillary's the one that basically pulled a rug under Bernie Sanders, had all the Democrats not supporting him. Because honestly, I put it to you just like this: if Bernie Sanders would have won the Democratic nomination, he'd have won, hands down, easily would have beat Donald Trump, just because of he was more likable. He had ideas that people related to. Could it have possibly happened? I don't know about all that, but as opposed to what Hillary Clinton, the reason Trump won again is because people hated Hillary Clinton more than they necessarily liked Trump. A lot of people who were Bernie Sanders supporters probably ended up voting for Trump just to go anti-Hillary because of all that shit. The Donald Brazile situation, giving Hillary the answer to the question. Again, she funding the DNC, basically had them motherfuckers undermine Bernie Sanders, play him off like he was crazy, wouldn't air ads, wouldn't do a whole bunch of shit. Like, I mean, a whole bunch of things. And fucking, like, it's just, she plotted on this whole thing. What did they call it? I forgot what they called it. The Pied Piper or some scheme or something that they call the shit, basically. They released the emails of her scheming with the DNC head. And then if I'm not mistaken, the fucking head of DNC ended up quitting that and becoming a part of Hillary's campaign or some shit. Like, but motherfuckers say that she was the one that was going to, like, come on, this cutthroat scandalous bitch. But motherfucking me, about which one? Which one was I wrong about? About the... Or you think about that I'm wrong about Bernie Sanders beating Trump? Or you think that I'm wrong about that people said fuck Hillary and voted? I don't know, man. I'm honestly, I'm telling you that I think there were a lot of people, because you have a lot of motherfuckers who are okay with this socialist mentality. You'll be surprised how many motherfuckers are okay with this whole socialism mind state. I'm not with it. But I think that there were more people who were just so fuck Hillary that they would rather fuck with Trump than vote for Hillary. I think there was a lot more people who were more willing. Because, I mean, I was telling my old lady, man. I was telling my old lady that when all that shit was going on, when elections were happening and everything like that, you ride around, you see Trump stickers everywhere. You might see a Cruz sticker. Cruz is weird. But when it was down to the two, you know, I never saw a Hillary sticker, never saw a Hillary bumper sticker, never saw a Hillary sign. You know, be all over the place, all over the city. Never saw Hillary anything. Be in traffic, never see Hillary anything. See Trump, plenty of Trump stuff. I saw plenty of Bernie hanger-oners with fucking Bernie stickers, Bernie fucking shit in their yard. Never saw anything. What's up, Joe, man? Good to see you, man. I hope everything is all good, and I hope you're doing well, man. What people do is that. Yeah, and so my thing is this, though. My thing is this. Trump locks in on you and destroys you. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that's what people did like is because Trump is fucking. That motherfucker Trump don't give a fuck. He gonna find your weakness and try to attack. But see, you gotta be careful though. You know, to get you so far. Conor McGregor tried to do that shit, and well, we see what happened with him because Conor McGregor was winning the sight game like that for a while. And who was it that stopped it? A fucking Russian. They say we don't have a real say in none of this shit. But here, yeah, let me crank open the line, man, and then I'm gonna start digging in a little bit more on T.I. and Snoop Dogg because I think, like, in my opinion, those are the real coons because those are the ones cooning for the fucking liberals and shit, continue to push this welfare mentality, you know, and that's the shit I think is the most coon. When you continue to push motherfuckers here, I only vote for this one party. Motherfuckers been voting fucking Democrat last 30, 40 years or so. And what has that done for black people? How have black people benefited, you know, voting Democratic, straight ticket, only and always voting for the Democrats? Like I said, give me 1 second. Let me make sure I do a little quick audio test to make sure everything is copacetic. And again, and I'm talking about issues. Again, all of y'all may not relate because y'all are like, oh, well, Honcho, I'm not black. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Well, I'm just giving you some insight, in my opinion. Then again, there's those of you who are going to disagree with me, but that's what the den is about, man. Again, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I respect your opinion as long as you respect mine. Jay Bird's opinion probably doesn't make any sense, so, you know, that's neither here nor there, but we'll figure it all out. So hold on 1 second, and we'll test some things out and get it right. All right, we good. I didn't have to do all the extras. So here's the deal. Let me, I guess I need to put this up because I've changed the little scene up a little bit so I don't have the deadline thing on here. All right, there we go. The number for the den line. You can call the den line from outer space. We can talk about Kanye West. Yeah, I'm throwed off. I ain't even on no influencer. Ain't that about a bitch? But again, man, like I say, you know, it's just a bunch of different perspectives that you have to take. You just have to look at things. And again, everybody may feel. All right, hold on 1 second. Hillary's a train. What's the motherfucking deal? And who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
What's going on, Mr. Red Honcho? This is Jason S.
Jason S. What would you like to drop in the den tonight?
First off, how are you, Mr. Honcho? How are you doing on this cold ass night?
I'm good, man. The cold, cool weather, it actually bodes well for the
nice.
Yeah, for the studio, we'll call it. Yes.
I've always I don't know. I've always been suspicious about Kanye.
What's made you suspicious about Kanye?
Well, first off, he gave us probably one of the most funniest lyrics you could ever put in a song, like whoop diddy whoop, scoop diddy whoop whoop, whatever the fuck, like the pooper scooper, I don't know. Like, what kind of, like, where do you come up with those lyrics?
I don't know if I've heard. What song was that on? I don't even know if I've heard that one.
Lift Yourself.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard that one. I have to check that out. Lift Yourself. I'll put that in my notes.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that man is saying.
Okay.
Like,
Mm-hmm. So what else about Kanye do you find strange or odd?
well, didn't he? I don't know if this is true or not, but didn't he claim once that he was like, I don't know what he said, but like him marrying like Kim Kardashian made it so like super like ironic and completely contradicted what he said. So he's always out there, like he's always been weird to me.
Okay. I'll say this, that Kanye has always been a peculiar character since, he was with Jay-Z and the whole Rockefeller thing, and when he dropped his first album. But I think that's what makes him unique. And again, you have to have those characters, those people who are a little bit thrown off. Come on, let's be honest.
He's special.
Yes, he is special. I think that is. I'm gonna deep dive into a little bit more of that, but I appreciate you calling in, Jason S. And I'm gonna speak on that. I got to check that song out too, so I'm gonna listen to that after the den and see what that's all about.
All
All right.
Adam.
Well, my bad. Here's the deal. Kanye is special. Kanye is unique, and that's the up and the downside. Let's think about this. Think about all the other entertainers that were special, unique, weird. Michael Jackson, real strange character. Give a fuck what you say. Michael Jackson was the GOAT, and I love his fucking music. All right, he was the goddamn king of pop. But outside of him being an entertainer, and I tell you people all this all the time. You people, what do you mean, you people, Honcho? What are you saying? I'm talking about you folks, friends of the den, those people. That entertainers, man, and athletes, actors, whatever they do, only enjoy them for what it is they do. Don't let them infiltrate so many other areas of your life. Now, the reason we're speaking about this is because Kanye has gone from being an entertainer or a fashion designer or whatever it is into the political arena. And I think people find this very interesting. And so, but my thing is, like Michael Jackson, when you start kind of deep diving into his life outside of being an entertainer, some questionable things. Joe Jackson beat that ass. Motherfucking right that he did. But he beat them asses all the way into fucking stardom. He beating his ass right now in whatever afterlife you may or may not believe in. Joe whooping Michael, like, Michael, get on that motherfucking celestial stage and perform, motherfucker. Prince, very odd, very strange character. But that's what makes them great. The things that makes them strange is also what propels them into greatness. Some of you might not remember this, but this is a very old reference. Old Dirty Bastard. Very, very strange. Bitch, give me my money. Hey, dirty. Y'all have to understand, like, the things that make people strange and what makes them unique is what makes them stand out from a crowd. And then when they have talents and when they have abilities that go with that, because what a lot of people who are strange and weird, and the reason why they're like that is because that time they spend away from society and social interactions. We'll take this call. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we have calling in to the den this evening?
Yo, what's my persuasion?
Persuasion. What's the situation, man? What you want to drop in the den tonight?
Yeah, that Lift Yourself song was kind of a troll song. Because what kind of person comes up with lyrics saying poopity whoop, scoopity doop? But, yeah, to quote Kanye, he says in the song, he says, "Name one genius that ain't crazy." He's kind of got a point.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very valid point. I'm glad you said that. I didn't even know you. Like I said, I've listened to Kanye. I listened to more of his early stuff, his later stuff. I think like after 808 and Heartbreaks, I kind of fell off. I think the last thing I listened to from him was Beautiful, Twisted, Dark Fantasy. And then kind of after any of that, I couldn't tell you what was really shaking with Kanye. But I appreciate you dropping that reference. How are things? How is school going? How is everything, Mr. Persuasion?
What is that?
I said, how is everything? How is school? How are things going?
Oh, it's going good. Yeah. I have to write a 4-page paper before I go to sleep, but that's pretty cool.
Well, that's a bit. Well, I won't hold you up on that. You need to get to that, man. Make sure you get that done. Man, I appreciate you calling in.
Will do. Thanks.
All right, appreciate it. Shout out to White Persuasion, man. Definitely holding it down for the den, holding it down for the sauce. Y'all check out Persuasion Sport. And even though he's in San Antonio, he's definitely got his defenses up. He's still repping for the H. You said, I may not ride with everything Kanye stands for, especially spiritually, but his points in that meeting were valid and made to. And that's what I'm saying. Like, regardless of how you feel about anything else, he had some very valid points that he was making. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Hey, man, it's your boy Josh again, man.
Josh, what's the motherfucking deal, Josh? What you want to drop in the den tonight?
Yeah, no, before I say something, man, I know how you feel White Persuasion, man. Went to UTSA too, man, so I was there. I had to write a 4-page paper in like, 8 hours, and I almost forgot, and I ended up getting the job done, so I know how that feels. But about Kanye West, though, I'm a firm believer in that we just gotta, as society, just let people be, man. Just let people be and express who they want to be, man. And that's with just anybody. I mean, someone's Democrat, Republican. Like, was I mad that Kanye? Am I mad that Kanye supports Trump? Absolutely not. Like, that's his opinion. That's who he wants to support. Is this for every good reason that I agree with? No, but you just got to get to the point where we respect everybody's positions in society, and I think that's just the problem.
Yeah.
It's just more kind of Kanye. That's just with everything else. So that's just my point.
Man, I appreciate that call, man, Josh. I think it's a very good point. I mean, I'm kind of expand on your point there a little bit, but I appreciate you calling in and providing that.
All right, man.
Man, I think it was a good point, man, and I think that's what it ultimately comes down to, and that's what I try to want to bring to the den is, man, you know, hey, we may disagree, may not like certain things. Doesn't mean that you have to hate an individual because of this, that, and the third. It's about having a respect for people, and the fact that this is supposed to be America, where it's the land of the free and all that other good stuff, that a person should be able to represent themselves however they are. Like with a lot of some of the LGBT stuff, and like I said, I have no problem with those people. It's just some of the ways that they carry themselves. But hey, you know what? I respect your right to live however you want to live. Do I agree with you? No. But it's not my place to be the judge of who you are, to be the judge of your life, you know, when I got to get my own shit together, you know, and I'm steadily working on that. But, you know, the things with a lot of the liberal situations, you know, a lot of the Me Too and a lot of the woe is me mentality. Am I the person who's supposed to be the judge of that? No. You know, these people have a right, because at one point in time I felt the same way, and I had to learn, grow, and develop and do that. But it's all about respect. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we have calling into the den this evening?
Hey, this is Ernest. What's up, Honcho?
Ernest, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What you want to drop in the den this evening?
Hey, man. Hey, you said a lot, bro. So I'm gonna try to. I'm just going off the top on some of the things you said. First and foremost, when it comes to Trump, this is what it is. On the campaign trail, this dude insulted blacks. He insulted Muslims. He insulted gays. He insulted anybody that wasn't a part of his base that he was trying to appeal to. And this is what turned a lot of black people off from Trump in the essence, because he wasn't inclusive to everybody in America. He isolated whole segments and tried to appeal to a small segment. So with that said, when it comes to Kanye, it's like you got to have principle, man, at the end of the day. Because Obama, when he was in office, he didn't isolate this part of the country, but still Trump base hated Obama. This is where the Tea Party came from. They hated to see a black dude in the White House based on history, because they know that black people came here on slave ships, and dang, after all this time they made it to the highest office in land. They hated that. And this is how Trump really came into being, and through the Tea Party and moves like that. Now, I try to keep open mind like you, man, and I'm just saying this because you asked why don't black people like Trump or something like that. So I think that got something to do with it. Now, Kanye himself, when this dude dropped the College Dropout back in the days, I was feeling it. But like you say, we grow, we evolve. You know what I'm saying? I ain't the same dude I was at 18. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. But at the end of the day, bruh, I just feel like it was more like a photo op, man. From Trump perspective, he trying to send this illusion that he's not this by meeting with Kanye and Kim. You know what I'm saying? And one other thing I'm gonna touch on, Honcho, man, I'm gonna let you respond. Okay. Is I think it's deeper than what most of us are able to see. And what I mean by that, bro, is this: like, Trump came with a very divisive message. You know what I'm saying? And they had a dude back in the days, he was like the Attorney General, I forget his name. He said, an uneducated society is easier to govern than an educated society. So what Trump did when he came by creating this huge division is splitting the way. It's kind of like the left-right deal, where, you know, you split them up, you focus on what they don't got in common, and you run it. You know what I'm saying? And most people don't realize that you actually got more in common, meaning the working class, you know what I'm saying, than you have not in common. But because all you see is the divisiveness from the media and this and that, that's all you focus on, not realizing we all in the boat, same boat at the end of the day. But that's what I got, Honcho, bro. I appreciate you taking my call, huh?
Already, honest, man. I appreciate it, man. You dropped some good stuff on there, man. I'm definitely gonna comment on that. I appreciate the call. That was a very good call, man.
All right.
Already. So he brought up some good points. So he said Trump basically insulted everybody that wasn't included in his base. And then he said, you know, that Kanye, it was more about principle. And I can understand that. You know, if you feel that way, I can understand that. He was talking about, you know, when Obama was in, that the people hated the fact that black came basically from the slave ship to the White House. And you had the Tea Party who hated, you know, basically everything that Obama did. He mentioned to talk about College Dropout being, you know, College Dropout was jam. I don't care what nobody say. The first couple of albums went hard. And, you know, as you grow, you develop, you change. He said he felt like it was a photo op, and things are a lot deeper than what we just see. And so he thinks that Trump is using that as an advantage to make him look a particular kind of way. I mentioned the uneducated society is easy to govern, which is true, absolutely true. And kind of the last I took from that is that, you know, Trump basically used kind of a divide and conquer mentality. Now, I find a lot of that to be very interesting. I can see that perspective. Now, still, I'm not sure. Now, I know that I do remember, you know, the Muslim thing, certain Muslim things that I can see with being offended by Muslims. I do remember, you know, the bad hombres comment, stuff like that. And I'm trying to think of a couple other things. But what I think in that situation, I really don't remember the black thing. The thing I remember him telling, going to meet with black leaders, he had all the black people. I remember him going to the black church and being offbeat like a motherfucker. And then some shit like that. I really don't remember what he said directly about the black folks. I know he had Omarosa in the camp trying to be the director of black intelligence or whatever it may be. But basically saying that he wasn't inclusive, and I could see that because, but what I think that Trump did and or does is he did target a particular demographic, you know, and this demographic was feeling, you know, left out, or they maybe gravitated towards him because, and he was talking about, you know, us being the working class having more in common than we think, and I also believe that's very true. I think that, you know, people use race, they use religion, they use a lot of these things to to divide, to find a reason to separate. People find their own little niches in life. But we do have way more in common than we do realize. We're all human beings. We all like the same stuff. That's why certain products, you sell millions and hundreds of millions. They could be Apple phones or whatever, Samsung phones, or all these different things, and TVs and shows that millions of people, all these things, no matter, it crosses over religious boundaries, it crosses racial boundaries, it crosses all these different things, because again, there's a lot more in common than we'd like to admit. But I think at certain times that, could this have been a photo op for Trump? It could, because there were a couple of things in there in which he talked to Jim Brown, and Jim Brown ain't no punk. Like, a lot of y'all may not be familiar with Jim Brown, but Jim Brown don't play no bullshit ass games. He was a Brown. But, and he just said, I'm just kind of here to serve. Jim preaches a message of, responsibility, self-accountability, and a lot of people don't like that too. Now, Jim, he wasn't as friendly with it as Kanye was. I think Kanye gets a little excited, because again, the message that he had to take there, I felt nothing wrong with it. And the way he delivered it may have been a little bit off. And I think his approach with the overly huggy, man, I love this man, this guy made me, it almost made Kanye seem like he wanted Trump to be his daddy or something. So, I could see what you're saying about principle and things like that. But again, like I said, I'm just not familiar with what it was that Trump did directly to black folks that I don't see, because I remember him saying, hey, we're going to go in these black communities and get these jobs, and we're going to do it. I saw him trying to cater to that, to try to bring that black base over. So I don't know. He said, we can't say Obama didn't do anything for black people. He did give hope to kids, although they're minorities. Public. Now, I do agree with you on that. And I do agree with you. And that was initially why I liked Obama from the jump, because, hey, who was it? Again, listening to rappers, Ice Cube was the one that said, we'll never have a black president. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that was Ice Cube that said that. And the fact that Obama was a half black president, it gave people hope, to let them see, hey, motherfucker that look like me can get to the White House. Maybe can make it, So there's definitely something that you could look at. I don't lead my own parties. I throw my own parties, Dominic. I used to throw parties in high school. I used to go down. I used to charge to get in. Them hoes used to be live at 5. I don't know. We'll take this call. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we have calling into the den this evening?
It's Edmund.
Edmund, what's the motherfucking deal? What's on your mind? What you want to drop in the den tonight?
First, I just wanted to comment on the Trump and Obama situation.
Okay.
I feel like Obama was kind of an overrated president, especially towards the black community. He definitely gave hope to them initially, but I think his second term was easily the worst, especially when he promised so many things and he didn't deliver. So, I think that at least right now, Trump has done more than Obama, even though many black people don't like to say it due to the liberal media.
Okay.
And also, I had a conspiracy theory.
All right, what you got?
I think Kanye West is trying to be friends with Trump, so that way he can have some power. Like, I think he's using Trump as leverage.
Okay.
So I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Okay. And I just, like, if you don't mind me asking, like, what's one of the things that you would say that Obama promised but didn't deliver on?
I'd say the reducing the crime rate. Him being from Chicago, he promised that he would, try to lower, the death rate and crime rate in his hometown city. But every year it would just increase. He also made a promise to undocumented immigrants that he would get them, citizenship, and he never delivered an act to do that.
Okay.
So I think he failed in many aspects. But the liberal media always praises him like he was one of the best presidents, when in reality he was just average.
Okay. I can see your point on that. And I think with Obama, though, he had a situation where I believe the majority of Congress was Republican, so I know that limited some of the power that he had for a bit of time. And I can see your point on the leverage situation from Kanye. And again, hey, it may be a photo op for both of them. So hey, I mean, if it works, it works. If it gets a new group of people on Kanye's side, hey, then you I guess go for it. If he feels that way and he's cool with that, then hey, that's the route to take. But I don't know. I find that very interesting. But here's the deal. I'm gonna hang up on you, but I'm gonna talk about that. Man, I appreciate the call. It's a very good topic. We're gonna speak on that just a little bit more.
I bet.
All right. So, what y'all talking about? Y'all wow. But Obama making failed promises. I think that what you had with a lot of people with that situation is a lot of people put, and again, this is why I say, fuck politicians. People put a lot of hope and faith into men. And, there's only so much that people can do. There's only so much that people have the power to do. And the president, he may be the figurehead as the most powerful individual in the free world. But trust me, there's a lot of other things going on behind the scenes. Do I know the full details of them? No. But there definitely are. But Obama, the message was, pardon me, the message was boring as fuck. That's what it was. No, I'm just fucking around. The message was hope, change, and all this stuff. And words are very powerful. Words words can inspire, words can deter, words can deject. And I think people just saw this hope, this change that black guys in the White House, everything's going to be okay. But that's not how it works, man. It's not how it works, And then I think what happens also, what you get is, I know somebody mentioned earlier, about the Ernest was talking about the Tea Party, hating Obama, and this is kind of what started this movement. And I think what you do have is when you have so much of one thing, it stirs up a base of the opposite. It like right now you have this whole what are the Democrats calling it? The blue wave, It makes me want to try surfing. But I don't know if it's a thing. I don't know if the wave is as big as they think it is. But again, and you don't want to make the same mistake Hillary did, but you have this base getting fired up and energized because they feel like Trump is doing this, is Trump is saying this, and Trump is, here's the funny thing that I heard a lot of or read a lot of. When Trump became president, there was a lot of youth in the LGBT community that committed suicide because he became president. That's the power of the mind, that you think that he's just going to send some type of Nazi hit squad to kill all the gay people or something. I don't know what people were thinking, but there were a few stories of youths who killed themselves because he became president. Because people feel these stories, and this is why I say, people need to sit down and understand and have conversations ultimately. Because I think a lot of misunderstanding gets spread, and I can understand, what Ernest was saying about principle, because that's the thing, you got to have principles, and if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. But again, Kanye could be using him, he could be using Kanye, they both could be using each other. They could have went to fucking lunch after having all the fucking cameras and said, we played all of the country. Who knows? They could be talking about anything. But again, that's why I just say, man, one, stop putting so much faith in people, presidents, politicians, entertainers, whatever. Because I saw Mo City Bo asked earlier, like, who are they to speak for us? Because none of these people truly speak for anybody. They take a few ideas and they speak for some people who can kind of associate with those ideas, but they don't really speak for you exactly, me exactly, and you can only speak for yourself. I was just thinking about some of these failed promises, and again, Obama had some roadblocks in the way of getting certain things done, and people who were just deliberately anti any and everything he said. So no matter what, you know, we're not going to do it. We're not with it. I think Trump fell into a different situation. You know, you have a House that is favorable, Congress that's favorable, you know, in your to your views. So, and then, you know, the mentality in which he came in got everybody kissing his ass, as opposed to, you know, a different situation for Obama. Because these people, ultimately, politicians, they don't care about you. They don't care about me. They just care about getting to have another fucking cushy job where they maybe once a week or every few days come out, they'll say a little of this, say a little of that, sign a piece of paper. People come throw a bunch of money at them to think about agreeing with what they want. Hey, well, we'll give you $100,000 to say this. We'll give you $1 million to sign this piece of legislation. You know, it's a cushy job. Again, the working class, they would hate to be one of us. They look down on us. They think you and I, whatever party is, Democratic, Republican, whatever, they think we're the dumb ones. We're the idiots. Those assholes should have went to school. They should have got degrees. They should have did this, that, and the third. That's their fault for working hard. They can't relate to you and I. And my thing is the fact that I don't think people pay that much attention to it. Because that's why I say Trump's been rich his whole life. He doesn't relate to you and me. A small loan of $1 million, we don't relate to that. But at the same time, there's certain qualities that he does have that you can appreciate. There's certain qualities that he has that you can detest. Same with Obama. But again, just putting your faith in another man, period, point blank, is not the way to go. So, I wonder what happened to old Cushington. Thing said you was playing Modern Warfare the other day. So there's that. As long as you contain the gas, but it's good to see you, Cushington. No Kushlander. What, Jay Bird on some old tomfoolery. Oh yeah, you know Jay Bird gonna pop. Jay Bird is the blue wave. He's supposed to fuck with 30,000 accounts. But here's my thing. Here's my deal. What if Shaq Kush is Jay Bird? And there he goes. But again, there's a whole bunch more we could deep dive into. But I'll be honest with you, I'm getting a little tired. I got some things I still got to take care of. But there's a couple of little points I did want to address before we wrapped it up. Okay. I don't know, saying you was playing Modern Warfare the other day. But all of this regardless, you know, I think there was a point that was being made about respect and understanding one another. And I want to say, I think it was Josh. Hold on. And I think that's ultimately what it comes down to. You know, because what's going to happen with this country ultimately is a house divided cannot stand. And the only thing that's happening is more and more hate is brewing. More and more hate is brewing. More and more people are becoming divided. Whether you blame Obama for it, whether you blame, you know, Trump for it, the people behind the apron pulling the strings. I apologize for that. If I'm passing on the yawn train, I'm sorry for that. But ultimately what it comes down to is you and your own beliefs. And that's why I say, man, I noticed that, you know, as of late, myself being more and more angry about things. And I wonder why. And it's because of, you know, when you pay attention to more and more of this political shit, you'll get angry. You'll get mad about nothingness. And so you got to find a reason to be happy, to enjoy yourself, to feel more love for your fellow man. Because ultimately, it shouldn't always take a fucking disaster happening before we come together as people. Because the more that we split, the more that we find faults, the more that we find differences with one another, then the more problems we're going to have as a country, as a people, as a culture, as a whatever it is, because ultimately we all live in this same melting pot. You know, whether you believe certain people have advantages doesn't really matter, because you are who you are. And so you got to grind anyway. Like, caring about what advantages another man has, it doesn't fucking matter. How's that improve your life? It doesn't. You got to stay on your grind. You got to do what's best for yourself. You know, worrying about what other people do inside their home, how does that affect you? How does that it doesn't. Like, we got to stop caring about the nonsense. One, worry about what affects you, but two, be respectful. Show love to your fellow man. Because I think about, you know, Harvey and shit like that, and, you know, seeing those scenes, man. Do you think motherfuckers was underwater, was pulling up and said, oh, well, are you Democrat or Republican? Did you vote for Hillary or did you vote for Trump? No, they've seen that their fellow man was in need and they were helping one another, man. And we're not asking stupid shit like that because the shit didn't fucking matter. And the fact that shit has permeated, infiltrated our lives to this point that you're a fucking libtard or you're a hating ass Republican, or I don't know what the fuck Republican nicknames are or whatever, you know. And that you just, that automatically, because a person has a different perspective from you, they're automatically stupid. No, there's some very educated people who have very different beliefs. And I think more people need to have sit downs. And I think that's what we come with. These social medias have taken the intelligence out of the conversation. It's just now libtards, fucking idiots, look at this meme. Or fucking retard, look at this fucking meme. You know, Hillary shot a kid, Trump ate a baby. You know, and you can make anybody believe anything by putting a few words on a picture. And I think it's crazy. And I think we need to get better back to understanding. I think we need to get back to reading and educating ourselves. And I think, I would say Ernest made an excellent point, man. An uneducated people. Don't be an uneducated person. Educate yourself. It's nobody else's job to educate you. You know, we talk about schools. Well, they didn't teach us this. They didn't teach us that. Well, that's on your parents and that's on you now if you're grown. If you're old enough to read, that's on you to figure that stuff out. You know, and so I think that ultimately, whether you left, right, you know, whether you are blue or red, you're Crip or you're blood, it's all fucking gangs. You know, some gangs just wear suits. It's about, we got to get back to understanding our fellow man, why they feel that way, and being able to have sensible conversations, sensible arguments, sensible debates about things. Because I think we just let this hate and anger, because what we do is we automatically assume if a person feels a particular kind of way, we lump every experience that we've had with, say, if a person's a Republican, well, we lump every experience that we've ever had with a Republican onto that person because they say they're Republican. Well, they may not feel the exact same way as everybody. They may be Republican for a particular reason. Or with a Democrat, well, everybody's a Democrat, they're fucking idiot, retard, identity politic loving, you know, fucking Planned Parenthood supporting fucking crazy type shit, you know. Every fucking Republican's a racist, fucking super Christian, this, that, and the third. It's just like we put these labels because we associate these labels in our mind with people. And we're kind of stupid like that. And so we have to separate that shit. We have to understand the people that we deal with, get to know them for who they are. I think when we start kind of approaching that type of mentality, that type of mind frame, I think shit will change, man. But as long as we keep being who we are, as long as we keep thriving and feeding off this hate, you know, it's not going to benefit us as a country. Eventually, we're going to get taken down from within because we're basically caving in on ourselves with all this hate. You know, it's funny, like, and I'm rambling a little bit, but you know, they were talking about plants. If you sing to a plant, if you say loving words to a plant, it grows better. It grows faster, stronger, produces more. If you say hateful things to a plant, if you approach a plant with anger, you tell it angry things, you give it angry energy to it, you know, that plant will be a little bit weaker. It won't be as nice as some of the other plants. And experiments have been done on this. And it won't produce as well. When you play music for plants, they grow when you play, you know, classical stuff. They wither a little bit more when you play heavy metal and rap. and shit like that type of things. It's the energy, man, and we feed off each other's energy. We push a lot of bad motives. See, now I'm sounding like Kanye. See, I'm flipped the script on y'all. Y'all wouldn't expect this. Hold up. But it is ultimately about the energy in which we approach people, that people feed and sense off that, and it bounces, it reverberates. We got to do better. But my points that I wanted to make about T.I. real quick is T.I.'s dumb as fuck to me, because now he's using Kanye as his own promo platform, because he's got an album to sell, so now he all of a sudden has an opinion. You know, Black Lives Matter, when Wayne said somebody, he has an opinion. We got a call. We'll take this call real quick. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den?
How you doing tonight, Honcho? This is Joe Batista. I wanted to call in the den, your new chat stream you got going on tonight. How you doing, man?
Man, pretty good, Joe, man. What you want to drop in the den tonight? I'm glad you called.
I just want to say, I think people should do what they do as they must. I think we should all put a lot, like if Kanye and Trump won't work something out, let's focus some help on the environment, like having clean water, clean air, shit like that. Like, that's what I, like, heavily support. It's just because we're fucking up the earth, man, and we can fix it. And that's all I wanted to say tonight. I appreciate you on, Joe. You have a good one, all right?
All right, appreciate the call, Joe, man. I agree with you on that, man. Absolutely, man. And I agree, we do have things that we got to work on in the environment. I mean, we definitely use and violate a lot of resources. There's a lot of shit because, we got another call. We'll take this call real quick. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we have calling into the den this evening?
Fear is a path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
But it is true. It is true. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. And I think what it is a lot of fear mongering behind these politicians. It leads to people becoming angry about the situation. It leads to them hating other people who aren't in the situation, or hating people they think put them in the situation. And people suffer for hating, and they want to make other people feel the way they feel and make them suffer. So it's definitely true, man. It's definitely true. Definitely something that you have to think about. That's my fault if the other one was loud, because I probably had the volume up, because different calls have different volume levels. So some of them may be louder, some of them may be different. We're afraid of what people think about us when we step outside the black box. I think so, man. I think so. I grew up in a household where all people are created, no matter what race or religion, and that's what it should be. Slavery's for a touchy subject for real. Back in the day, every white person with money owned a slave, like how everyone owns a dog. So every bad, no. What is, I don't know what you said. Is every bad, no, everyone is okay, I guess. Here's my thing, too, and here's the thing about slavery, what used to kill me, too, is that people act like it was only in the South. Motherfuckers up north owned slaves damn near just as much. It just wasn't the land, so they weren't profiting off of the slaves in the same manner. So they were just, having them fucking clean up around the house, do all that type of shit like that. But absolutely, man, absolutely. I streamed on Mix for 4 hours last night. Did I? Yeah, I was just going in. I started early, and I was trying to kill all the Nazis, making particular German suffer. But it is what it is. You say Kerry is now advising a terrorist group. Okay, that's interesting. Jews are always the victim. All right. Black people are always the last to realize it. They said something about you want to hide something from black people, put it in a book. And I think that's true, because what you got, and I tell niggas this all the time, man, stop reading the books out of the black section of the bookstore. Don't get the books out of the black section of the library. You know what I mean? Because there's going to be a limited amount of knowledge there. Go on that other side. Go read some of them other books. Go read the books they're reading. If you perceive somebody to be your enemy, well, read what your enemy is reading. If you perceive that they got all the knowledge, then go read what they're reading. Whatever your perspective is, just go get the information and then do with it what you must. I'm not going to tell you how to think. I don't know what you've been through in your life. I don't know what, you feel. So I'm not going to tell you, I can't tell you how to feel. I can only suggest and give my opinions. Like I said, I have no ill will towards everybody. I know how I felt in my life when I hated everyone and everything. I know how I feel now when I am working on being less judgmental and trying to be express things from a view of more being more loving and more thoughtful about shit, you know. So there's that. Got a question though. Again, like I said, you know, T.I. got the album pro. Fuck him. P. Diddy, I think he just mad at Trump because, you know, he's just a money thing. It's just a rich ego thing. But here's my question, and then we're gonna wrap it up on this one. Okay, and I was asking this last night. It has absolutely nothing to do with the topic, but this is the den. And we're going, you know, I want to end the dens on a positive note. That's what it's ultimately about. I want to bring things back up. Is it okay for a man to give another man a compliment on his appearance? And I'm not saying as friends. I'm talking about a complete stranger. Or is that a suspect situation? The reason I ask this is because women compliment each other all the time. You know, oh, hey, I like that dress, or oh, that looks good. You know, where'd you get it? That's a nice purse, or, you know, something like that. But I had a situation the other day, okay? And I had to just kind of, again, you know, I'm working on my judgment thing, and I had to really recognize, like, I think that was kind of a homo question. I was at the store, and, you know, I was probably going to get some pistachios. And speaking of pistachios, I think I can't just let y'all get away with this shit. It don't work like that, son. I was at the store, and, you know, I'm walking in the door, whatever, I'm going to my determined aisle. I only had a couple of things to pick up. And the dude says, hey, man, you got some really nice looking dreads. Now, be it this gentleman had no dreadlocks. I don't know if he ever did in his lifetime. He was a Caucasian gentleman, so I don't know. The likelihood of that is probably in the lower percentages. And I just find it odd because I don't know if white people really admired, well, white men, I know white girls dig it, but admire dreadlocks like that. So it made me question the question. And I was just like, yeah, I appreciate it, man. And kept on about my way. But it made me think, you know, as I had to think, you know, again, you know, I'm somewhat self-aware about my thoughts and the way I view things. And, you know, I try to pay attention to other people, and I'm usually a pretty good judge of character and understanding people and their intentions. And I just felt like it was pretty suspect, almost on the verge of being a culprit question. And I just wanted to get y'all's opinion on that. I just want to know what y'all think about that. Now, there was no S. There was no extended S or anything like that. You know, and his appearance didn't seem to be of the flamboyant variety. So I'm not saying that he was a gay man or anything like that. It wasn't any clothing that would say, oh, that dude's a suspect or anything like that. So, Heidi, I worry about you. I really, really worry about you and what you do in those German dungeons. You know, you're gonna have to be your own therapist one day. But so that's I'm just questioning. I'm just wondering. Can I speak to your manager? No, he was a fellow customer. So let's see. He was white. I did mention that. Let's see. Whoopi doesn't bathe daily. So, no, that's awful. That's horrible. Oh, that's what you said. Product. That's probably Whoopi. That's fine. So that's not gay. Yeah, so that's not that bad. It's a good compliment. I think he was just a whitey. That's racist, Dominic. You're a racist. You're a racist and a possible educational gun advocate. That's just all. So I'm going to identify that. Yeah, you pull my hair like Kanye did Ivory, you know, and I'd be without Honcho for a few days in the sauce until I got some bail money. Cute shirt. Cute shirt is gay, but nice shoes, you're good. Okay. Chicken burger slayer. Breaking news, Braylon. That's a nice cut. Okay. I'll just be Whoopi for, I don't know. That'd be dirty. Whoopi's no, I get a nun outfit and be Sister Act. Not gonna do that. So I don't know, but I feel a little weird. I mean, because it was just awkward. It was random, you know, and so I just had to figure it out. Phoenix wipes his ass with Zaxby's. You got chicken crust in your ass crack. We get up out of here. Lower your voice 4 octaves. No, we're not gonna do that. So there's a MAGA rally in Houston next week. You can tell me about it. I won't be there. Can you give possession? I don't know. I don't know how you do. Man, Braylon, I'm telling you, I've seen, look, if y'all ever pay attention to the background, next time Braylon is on the sauce, if you look carefully, you will see a little red hat, a nice, freshly pressed, out the dry cleaners, white polo, and some pants. He keeps it gangster with his khakis, though. You know, he don't go all the way in, but he keeps a nice crease. You know, I don't know if he uses Stay Flow. You know, I don't know if he uses what's the other shit called? The little stuff in the can, the kind of lighter shit. You know, I don't know if he got the formula for the Stay Flow, but you know what I'm saying. He keep a crease in his khakis, but he be at the MAGA meetings. So I'm just telling you. The compliment was Kanye. Like, where you at? My dreads are ready. I don't know about all that. How black is Honcho? He looks brown at different times. He looks really black. One time he showed us it was the light and he looks black. I don't know, man. I think it depends on the bulb. If it's a clear bulb, if it has, you know, the white little coating to it. Depends. I think these here have a yellower tint to them. So it depends. Chicken burgers and red soda. That's funny. Dominic is very strange, man. I think Joe's got the ghost in his room. Man, no. I'm doing the anti-Sammy. I'm actually kind of mad because by the time I actually start getting out in the sun even more, fucking start getting cool. I think they said yesterday was supposed to be the last 90-degree day. That's awful. That's one shave for 6 months. No, it only takes a couple of days. You go into the darker end of the spectrum. You got to get that vitamin. I can't say it around you. Y'all take everything and make it suspect. But the sun provides vitamin D. So there's that. See, when Braylon get on the health kick, see, he don't eat the whole chicken burger. He just eats the chicken burger patties. Like the bread turns straight to sugar. Can't fuck with it. Do black people get lighter or darker with age because pigment should get weaker, but you have more years on the sun? Man, I don't know. I just think it depends on what type of sun you're in. So, you said I'm saving my bad on the stutter massage. I don't even remember. It ain't nothing to worry about. It's all it is what it is. So, no, I don't hear nothing. There might be something behind me. It could be a ghost. There's a ghost in the studios. But here's the deal. I'm going to call it a wrap. My friends at the den, we had a good conversation this evening. Went a little bit long. And pick up the dog shit. Yeah. Definitely. Man, I'm worried about you, Jay Bird. You got too many. You got too many personal. No, man. You know what happened to the cricket? I didn't kill the other one, right? Texans win. Texas started winning after I fucking didn't kill the cricket that last time, right? So there's that. But I've had some traps down from when, you know, I had the little mouse problem. And it was actually 2 mice. Well, it was actually more than 2 mice, but I'll explain it. It was 2 mice that were causing the issue. So I got some sticky traps because the old school cartoon snap traps, they weren't falling for that. These mice got smartphones and shit now, so they wasn't falling for the bait. And so basically I set down some sticky traps and I just kind of put them like around a little stack or whatever, some like little thing of nuts or whatever. So but to put it to where they'd have to cross over sticky traps to get to them. So catch one day, and I take them off, take them way out, get rid of them. That's when I took the vote, you know, to either to kill it or to dump it off. So a couple of days later, or actually a day later, I saw that, you know, still the same shit was happening. Like, damn, it's still fucking biting to fucking shit. I'm seeing little mice trap, you know, mice crap and shit. So I set down another fucking thing of traps because it was like 4 or 5 of them coming up. It was 6
dollar bills, y'all.
Oh shit, showing love, white persuasion. I appreciate the love. Hold up. Feed Scotty 420, but man, it's been a minute. It's been 4 fucking months. I don't even know why I do know why I stopped, but you know, one day, maybe before the end of the year, we'll get back on it. So I set down the traps or whatever, come back, find another one, and so take it off into the wild, release it where I know, you know, some snakes and things are. So I'll let it go. You know, he's gonna have to fight for his life if he wants to win. He seems like a domesticated mouse. No, they're probably wild mice. So I'm thinking, okay, problem solved, but I'm gonna leave these traps down just in case. And I had bought some little bait stations too, because I'm like, damn, you know, how many of them could it be? And it's been about a week or 2 since the last
dollar bills, y'all.
So Scotty's not in the den this evening, but I'll bring him down tomorrow, and I'll make sure that we get some Scotty time. And so I come in the den, pause, and I mean, it's 2 little fucking baby mice, one stuck to each fucking little thing. So I guess that the original 2 must have been co-parenting. You know, that's the term we use nowadays. They could have been 2 lesbian mice, and they could have been, you know, adopting those little mice. It could have been 2 gay mice. But I'm assuming that they were a man and woman mice. We got to be PC when we address the mice around here. And so I took them 2 little motherfuckers to the same spot. And I'm like, fuck it, y'all little mice. Y'all deserve a chance to live. Maybe they reunited. Maybe they all fucking got back together. But them sticky traps are hell. I don't know how long they were on them bitches, but that shit, oh man, I'm just imagining that shit. If that was me, that'd be awful. I'd hate to be fucking stuck on a sticky trap, because you ain't moving nowhere. And the more you move, the worse off it is. Fucking tails get all caught in that shit and get all fucked up. But you can get them out of that shit. All you gotta do is take some fucking cooking oil. So we had some what was that, canola or whatever the fucking shit is, and you just pour it on them. They'll get up out that shit. They got to wiggle free. So, but it hasn't been any mice action since then. I mean, oh man, that would be a bad look if you became a fucking mouse. I mean, you'd have to figure it out. But since I haven't been killing the mice and all that other stuff, I say this whole story. I just told this whole long ass story just to say this about the fucking cricket. I still had a couple of traps down just in case, you know, to see if, you know, if there were any more. And since the little 2, there haven't been any. Like, I haven't seen any. Come in today, to, get ready for soft sports and stuff. Fucking cricket stuck in the fucking sticky trap. And I think he's dead because he hadn't made any noise. So Scotty needs a Twitter. That's fucking funny. So I think that it might be bad luck for the Texans, but that doesn't count on me because it's not like I killed the cricket. The cricket fell in the trap on his own. So I don't know if it was the same cricket. I don't know if it was a new cricket, but he's a done deal. So it was a long ass story just to talk about a fucking cricket stuck in a mouse trap, but it is what it is. I guess y'all had to get the whole context as to why it was. You can't blame me. The cricket killed itself. He was a suicidal cricket, so there's that. There's nothing I can do about that. Appear to receive punishment. I need to finish that game. I might do a mid mixer this week or something. We'll see. Because I've actually been ahead of the game with some other stuff. I've been, trying to get everything pre-prepared for the weekend. All the shows I plan on doing. So we'll see what's happening. But with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all, mi amigos, in the den. But with that being said, I'm finna get my ass up out of here. I got some things I still got to finish before I call it a night. I appreciate everybody who called into the den line. Man, it was very interesting. We had some variety, so we might have to start bringing up more topics like this. We got some calls from the regulars, and then we got some folks, I think some first-time callers in the den. And I think it was good, man. And again, there were some differing views, some differing perspectives, but I appreciate everybody who called, and I think folks got a little bit of different insight and just different views. And so shout out to everybody, man. I want to say Ed, man. I know Jason S. I know Ernest, Josh. Shout out to Joe. I want to make sure I didn't forget anybody. If I did, I apologize. But some very good calls, man. Some very, very good calls. And I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all for that. Persuasion. Yeah, Persuasion called in. I was like, man, I'm missing somebody. God damn it. Look, I'm missing somebody. Persuasion called in with some very good points and, a very good quote. So there's that. He gave me the game on the Kanye song, and I need to go listen to that. Scoopa poopity. Scoopity doopity. You ain't got a scoopity doopity, but you got a whoopity whoopity. But no, y'all ain't got to go home. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. But it's time for y'all to get the fuck up out the den. Wish Kenneth here so I could really give y'all a kicking out, but I ain't gonna do that. But I appreciate y'all. But I'm gone.